Concerto! Hello musici, let's continue our journey with Riepel, and in this episode, in this video, let's talk about the concerto, because now, as the preceptor says, now I will compose an initial tutti, as for a concerto with 32 measures. First of all, note, in a concerto, an aria, etc., there are also tuttis in the middle and at the end. I will use the word tutti as distinct from solo alone, often instead of theme, preamble, prelude, etc. The word ritornello, from ritornare, to come back, takes its origin from the old arias, whose melody was often played by instruments, then sung to a stanza, then again played by instruments, and so on, one after another. Such alternations are nowadays only occasionally heard in beer and wine hall songs. For the modern sort, one uses the words da capo, from the beginning, or if not begun completely from the beginning, has the word dal segno, from the scene. The scene of which is often this, or something else, according to each one's whim. Sin or sin al segno, up to, or also al segno, to the scene alone. To the scene, exactly, up to the scene. Which looks either like these four or like these three, which signals the end or the finale of the aria. However, I will consider it unnecessary to write explicitly this sin or al segno, because the sin 3 is sufficient of no other circumstances, or if no other circumstances arise. Okay, now this scene is not clear to me. What is this kind of scene of the end? But I don't know. Let's continue. Let's play the concerto now. This is the tutti. And then after this, a solo will start. Half of these, let us say, the last 16 measures, may also have been written according to the tonal order like that. So it's talking about the last section. Then do, ra, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, do, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, sol, fa, la, fa, mi, la, sol, la, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay. So, as you can see, we have a phrase up to here with a cadence to D. Then a cadence to G, so a cadence to D, but which is a converging cadence, as you can see. Fa, fa, sol. Imagine parallel thirds. Fa, 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 sol. Then another phrase, which is 4 plus 4, arriving to a cadence to G. Then incomplete cadence, because we have the third, and then the last complete cadence. Here, in this case, Riepel is composing la, sol, fa, mi, fa. This is a monte, ending with a complete cadence, because we arrive to the octave. Then which is the second section of a monte. Here, in the second realization, we have a true fonte, because we start with a C sharp if we have to create a bass, we put a C sharp. If I have to compose a bass, I would write this: do, re, mi, fa, sol, do, re, mi, sol, fa, sol, do, la, re, la, re. Then and so we are at the presence of a fonte. Mi, fa, sol, re, fa, mi, fa. Fa, sol, do, this way. And then the last phrase, actually, this one, is the exact repetition. Very well, but can these 4, 8, 16 and 32 measure also be properly arranged in 2/4 time and in common time or 4/4 meter? Without any doubt, metric order must remain metric order. Look, I will transform the first two examples into 2/4 meter for you. Great, this is very interesting. So we have the first example transformed into 2/3, into 2/4. Nice, because we have undivided, so foursome, and then foursome, 2 foursome. The second is bad because it does not have any clear, so it is a 2 plus 4 plus 2. It's not 4 plus 4. So undivided. This is divided and bad, not good. And the second example with 16 measures. So let's see this. He really likes syncopations a lot. Yes, but listen, if I write this example in common or 4/4 time, only 8 measure result. So he's basically saying that he's making 1 bar from the 2 bars, as you can see. So the same thing, but 8 measures instead of 16. But it's the same. And then he says, you must not do it that way, but rather you should count in common time, always as if it were 2/4 time. Otherwise, you will become more confused than clever thereby, which you must take to heart as well as if your Lord himself has said it. I will therefore rewrite for greater clarity the last example of 3/4 time with its 32 measures translated into common time as follows. This. So this is in common time, pam pam, which means 4/4. And let's see, as you can see, we have, so it's talking about this example, rewritten in common time. Now, this takes 2 bars here. So this way it takes only 1 bar, because 1 and 2, as you can see. So the 8 bars now are 4 real bars. So pam 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 pa pa pam to fo fa fa re re po pi de bi fa sol, mi, fa, mi, do, sol, fa, mi, re. Fa, mi, re, mi, do, fa, re, sol, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, mi, do, fa, re, sol, mi, re, do, la, la, sol, fa, mi, do, 1. And here the second phrase finishes because we have number 8. Now, do, mi, po, sol, la, fa, la, mi, fa. Do, do, sol, re, mi, fa, fa, mi. Do, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, fa. Do, fa, la, sol, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, fa. La, sol, fa, mi, re, fa, do, fa. This tutti, or opening theme, certainly consists of 32 measures, although I've only counted 8 measures from one segment of the melody to another. Moreover, each group piece of 8 measures is just as clearly distinguished from every other group of 8 measures by means of the comma or cadence, as can be seen and heard here. Otherwise, one would often have to count 100 or more measures in succession in a concerto, etc., which certainly will be called an irritating clumsiness. So more than counting bar, here is counting what calls the comma. So fa, mi, fa, which is mi, re, fa, mi, what we call the pastorella in the Meyer group of the partimento method, stage 6.8 in the Meyer. Mi, re, fa, mi, do, mi, fa, sol, mi, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re. This way. Then, my Lord has certainly not entrusted me with this knowledge, for he is stinging in such things. But could I not just as readily count 32 measures as 8 foursome instead of 4 eightsome? Okay, wait, let's read it again. But could I not just as readily count 32 measures as 8 foursome, so 4 plus 4 plus 4, which means 8 foursome, so 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, these are 4 foursome, plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, instead of 4 eightsome, so 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, because at the end they are 32. Of course, that would be even easier, and I would have thought that your hearing could really distinguish the foursome without much counting. Okay, had I but known that. Now we'll try 3 foursome in succession of 12 measures. So 3 foursome of 12 measures, in spite of the fact that they, according to your teaching, have no such orderly place within our bodies as do 8, 16, and 32 measures. Now we have 1, 2, and 3. So 3 foursome. It is true, the penultimate foursome seems exactly as if it had been inserted by force. It would sound better if such a thing were just left out. Out one then never to write these threefold structures? Why not? As often as you please in variation. For a foursome in or itself is accepted as satisfying the hearing. So, for a foursome in of itself, for a foursome in and of itself is accepted as satisfying the hearing, and one sees 12 measures even more often in the following ways. Don't be impatient. To me, the first two foursomes seem to be a cobbler's patch. But I told you yesterday that since only two twosome are like the aforesaid little melody, one occasionally finds two rising foursomes of this kind, even in the compositions of famous masters. You can change them or weed them out as far as I am concerned. They do strike me as not so bad. In fact, this example already pleases me better than mine, and I do not know why. Because here, the middle or next to last foursome seems to be nothing other than a repetition. I will show you a still clearer repetition, however. So it's talking about the penultimate one. I mean, the second foursome seems a repetition of the first one, and it is like a monte. So something different here. Without repetition, he says, and with repetition. Let's see. Now, without repetition and with repetition, what is he saying? Do, mi, sol, sol. So here we have 4 bars plus other 4 bars, then 4 bars here, other 4 bars, and this should be the repetition. So, okay, basically is saying that we have the repetition because we have this note. Do you see this note? This note and this note. So it's a kind of variation. Sol, 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 fa, mi, fa, re, fa, mi. It's a repetition with the addition of other notes. Instead of the lip, which is common of the beginning, here we have the repetition but with arpeggio. Okay, so it's a repetition but inserting other elements, putting other elements like arpeggio instead of repetition and instead of 2 long notes, but the structure, the green notes are the same. So it sounds much better. This way. In short, I permit you, in addition to the best structure previously described at any point, in time also to set out 12, 20 or 24 measures in succession and to group together 8 of them, or, what is even easier, 4. Whatever is lengthened by means of repetition in no way impedes good structures, but rather promotes it and even makes 3-some, 5-some, 7-some and 9-some pleasing thereby. Wait, I must show you something of my lord which I saw in the other day at his residence. Maybe this can be the... Okay, we'll study this in the next video, but let me read again this point. In short, I permit you, in addition to the best structure previously described, at any point in time also to set out 12, so 12, 20 and 24 measures. So 12, 20 and 24 measures in successions and to group together 8 of them or 4. So 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, so 4 per 3, 4 per 5 and 4 per 6. Whatever is lengthened by means of repetition is way in no way impedes good structuring, but rather promotes it, and even makes 3 sums, 5 sums, 7 sums, and 9 sums pleasing thereby. This is what is strange to me. What's the point with 3 sums, 5 sums, 7 sums, and 9 sums? Whatever is lengthened by means of repetition, in no way, whatever is lengthened, so it's made longer because of the repetition. So with the repetition, in no way impedes good structuring, but rather promotes it, and even makes 3 sum, 5 sum, and 7 sum, and 9 sum pleasing thereby. Maybe it's saying that, I'm not sure about that if we have a 3 sum, and the 3 sum is repeated with variation, of course, adding some other elements, this promotes the good structure. Promotes good structuring. So 3 plus 3, 5 plus 5, 7 plus 7, 9 plus 9. Because we have a good structure at the end, like question and answer. Okay, by the way, in the next video, let's talk about the new element, what the discantist has seen by his lords. So, see you in the next video, and let's continue our journey with Riepel. Do you want to learn how to compose music in the Renaissance or Baroque style? If you're at the beginning of your musical journey, or a professional looking to deepen your knowledge of early music, the best path may be a guided integrated course. Composing in the style of the 16th century or the 17th and 18th century requires much more than knowing harmony and counterpoint. You need to navigate a vast world, including solmization, fugue, cantus firmus, mensural notation, partimenti, dances, chorales, and more. To avoid getting lost, you need an experienced guide, a musicus practicus who knows the path, walks beside you step by step, and helps you overcome each challenge with tailored exercises, attentive feedback, and continuous dialogue. Have a question about a topic? We'll discuss it. Stuck on an exercise? We'll work through it together. Want to go deeper into a subject? We'll tackle it with focus. Every month I accept a limited number of apprentice musicians like you for a program of personalized one-to-one lessons where I guide them in learning to compose in the Renaissance and Baroque style. How it works? During our one-to-one lessons we focus on 2 and 3 voice composition, counterpoint and partimenti, practical exercises on historical style, schemata, cadences, voice leading, models, patterns, and much more. During the week, you'll also follow recorded lessons on repertoire analysis, pattern structure, tones and modes in polyphony, rhythm of historical dances, and everything else you need to progress. This way, each individual lesson becomes focused, effective, and productive. If you'd like to apply for the musical apprenticeship program, go to the link and fill out the form telling me your musical background, studies, experiences, instruments, what you play, your current skill, what you can compose, if you know partimenti, chorales, anything else, and your goals, what you would like to learn in the short, medium and long term. I'll personally read your message and get back to you within 24 hours to let you know how we can work together. Don't miss the spot and learn to compose music as if you had lived in the Renaissance or in the Baroque.